Questionable Judgment Debts Commission begins public hearing with threats to order arrest of witnesses who fail to comply with its orders.
If a witness is subpoenaed to appear before the commission and the witness fails to appear and again fails to give any reasonable excuse for the failure to appear, the consequence is that that witness could be arrested and brought before the commission. This commission even has the powers of the police for the purpose of entry, search, seizure, and removal of a document or an article relevant to the inquiry by the commission.
Well, the threat got those invited today turning up later this afternoon, but does the commission really have those powers? We will find out.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services, your success, our passion, Belacqua Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water, as well as myjoyonline.com. We are live from the studios here on Multi TV, also live on Joy 99.7 FM. I can order your arrest, and beware, I have the powers of the police to enter your property, to search and seize. Strong words that define the opening day of public hearings into the payments of inordinate judgment debts. The sole commissioner asserted his authority when some key state institutions, including the Comptroller and Accountant General, failed to appear to testify initially. The commission will investigate all inordinate payments of judgment debts since the 1992 Constitution came into force, including the alleged fraudulent payment of 51 million cedis to businessman Alfred Wayome. My colleague, Anil Sabute, sat through today's maiden public hearing and joins me in the studio. So, what prompted that threat to arrest those indeed who failed to appear when they have been subpoenaed to do so?
Exactly. Thank you, Evans. 4 people were to appear today. That is the Auditor General, the Solicitor General, the Chief Director of Finance, of Ministry of Finance, and then the Comptroller and Accountant General. Incidentally, the Auditor General was there. But when it got to the Solicitor General, the woman who that's the senior state attorney, did talk about the fact that the woman is not in town and therefore, they have to be given time. It was at that point that these two names, that the Chief Director of Finance, Minister of Finance, was called again and was absent. So it was on that basis that Justice Apau made it clear that they have the powers of the High Court and therefore they could effect the arrest of those who refuse to obey their subpoena.
And then we can listen to him now.
Yeah. I want to draw the attention of the public to the consequences of refusal to comply with a subpoena order. If a witness is subpoenaed to appear before the commission and the witness fails to appear and again fails to give any reasonable excuse for the failure to appear, the consequence is that that witness could be arrested and brought before the commission. This commission can make an order for the arrest of the witness and be brought. That's the consequence of a subpoena. This commission has the powers of the High Court to order the arrest of witnesses who refuse to appear. Since the commission is a fact-finding one, and we want the general public to assist voluntarily, I would not like to invoke the powers of the commission now to order for the arrest of those who have refused to comply with the subpoena.
Apparently, he did not end there. He went ahead to say that they have some more powers that they might unleash on those who refuse to turn up.
He was very clear in his mind that they could even equally act like police officers, conduct random search in areas that they deem important to retrieve documents.
You mean powers of the police?
Precisely so. So that, for example, granted that they could come to, let's say, multimedia, if they believe that, there are some documents that will assist in the investigations. Let's take a listen to what he said.
For the benefit of those who do not know, that this commission even has the powers of the police for the purpose of entry, search, seizure, and removal of a document or an article relevant to the inquiry by the commission. The commission can direct its investigators to arrest, to enter any premises, to search and seize any document that will assist the commission in its work. So if a witness is invited and the witness fails to make any appearance, then we'll be compelled to have recourse to these powers of the commission to compel witnesses to attend. For the purposes of the conduct of the proceedings, a commission has the power to require a person to disclose truthfully and information within the knowledge of that person, and which is relevant to the proceedings, be to examine a witness on oath or affirmation and to administer the oath or affirmation.
And so, you've just been listening to the sole commissioner, Justice Apau there, but we're just learning, Annie, that those state officials who were not there initially that prompted those comments subsequently found their way to the office of the sole commissioner. Precisely.
So we spoke to Justice Apau, who confirmed that indeed they did come, they did appear before him. What it means is that after today's sitting, they're going to come back again on the 17th of this month.
Okay, and I must indicate that the Auditor General, though, was there. How did that play out in terms of the hearing?
Essentially, you know, he was asked about document dating starting from 1992 up until now, but unfortunately, he was unable to produce that. The period that he managed to produce were from 2000 till now. We can listen to the banter between him.
That in the reports you've submitted, starting from 2000, in that report, did you notice any payment of debts owed by the state in that report, the 2000 report? Either judgment debts or debts paid through other means without passing through the courts. Do you have any such?
Yes, my lord. I'm yet to examine the report in detail, but I know that from time to time, the issue of judgment debts, have been filtering through our reports in prior years. What happened in 2009 was that we realized that the quantum of judgment debts were increasing, and therefore it's an area that we need to review much further. We did a review, and we realized that the issue recurred in 2010, and we continued in 2011.
So does the sole commissioner have the powers of the police and the authority to order arrest? I'm joined on the line by senior law lecturer with GIMPA, Kofi Abochi. Thank you, sir, for your time here on Top Story. Now, can the commission claim to have powers to order arrests?
Well, the powers of a commission of inquiry are stated in the Constitution, and they can be said to be analogous powers. In other words, the Commission of Inquiry itself does not seem to have powers of its own. Its powers have been compared to that of the High Court. For purposes of its powers, the powers of the Commission of Inquiry are specifically stated. And so for us to understand this, we need to know that the Commission of Inquiry can enforce the attendance of witnesses and examine them on oath, etc. The Commission of Inquiry can also compel the production of documents. These are the two powers of the Commission of Inquiry that are relevant for our discussion at the moment. And I would just say that in terms of the powers of the Commission of Inquiry in arresting persons, the Constitution says that the Commission of Inquiry shall have the powers of the High Court or a sole judge at trial. That means that if the High Court can order the arrest of persons, the Commission of Inquiry can order the arrest of persons. In the circumstances, it is clear that a High Court can order the arrest of persons. And so on the face of it, I think the Commissioner is right to assert that the Commission of Inquiry can order the arrest of persons.
Now, some people have argued that, yes, that may be the case, but what a commission such as this will need to do is to go to a proper court, if I may use that phrase, to get an order to do so, not necessarily directly ordering the arrest.
That has been the traditional approach. The traditional approach is that if a commission has complaints, any commission for that matter recognized under the Constitution, if you have a complaint, you go to the court and make a specific complaint in this respect, and the court will then make an order for your arrest. And that is the reason for this is because traditionally the courts are the body that are deemed to have the capacity to order the arrest, detention, and imprisonment, among others, of persons. And so it is easier to go to the High Court and seek such an order. Having said that, as I said, if you look at the Constitution, the drafting of the Constitution seems to suggest the fact that the Commission can of itself make an order for an arrest. And I think I would not necessarily hold this back from the Commission, because I think that in respect to the questions of arrest, if you are arrested, indeed, even ordinary citizens can arrest persons who are not police officers. If the person who has been arrested has any complaints, that person can go to court. So there's always a recourse to court. The commission is not the court. The commission is not beyond the court. And therefore, there's always a recourse to court in case there's a complaint. I think that brings me to the second issue as regards whether or not the commission can go to the premises of persons. And
because that's a question. Just to put that in context, before he said that, he said the reason why they can enter your property and seize items is because they have the powers of the police.
The commission doesn't have general powers. It is very important for us to understand this. The commission has specific powers. First of all, the commission doesn't have all the powers of the High Court. The commission has specific powers of the High Court, i.e. in three key areas. And these areas are in terms of enforcing the attendance of witnesses and therefore issuing subpoenas, in terms of compelling the production of documents. And then the third one is in terms of issuing commissions to examine people who cannot attend court, etc. So the powers of the commission that are similar to the High Court are specifically isolated. They do not have the general powers of the High Court. The High Court has way more powers the commission doesn't have. So the commission, in my opinion, cannot claim to have the powers of entering properties, among others, to search for things that may not necessarily be within the ambit of their investigation. I think the difficulty here is the law clearly gives the commission the powers to compel the production of documents. How would the commission go about compelling the production of documents? It seems that if the commission wants anything, the commission may follow the processes that are normally adopted in the High Court, because their powers are analogous. And
such as going for a warrant, I guess.
Exactly. Well, such as doing that, or such as in the regular way, asking the person to appear before the commission and to produce the document. If a regular court wants you to produce the document, the regular court compels you to come and to produce the document.
And if I refuse?
Well, it is when that fails. Well, first of all, you can't refuse. If you refuse a direct court order, you are in contempt of court, so consequences may follow. But if the court, for instance, thinks that you have a document you are probably trying to avoid producing, or you are trying to evade, as far as the court jurisdiction is concerned, there are alternative processes. There are discovery processes. There are all kinds of processes that can be embarked upon. If we have to go by the criminal way, then of course, the police can always enter premises and search them. I do not think that falls within the ambit of the commission. I think if the commission wants that, the commission will have to appear before a court as a regular complainant, and the court can then make an order specifically authorizing the commission or authorizing the police to act on behalf of the commission. So I'll just conclude by saying that the powers of the commission that are similar to the High Court are specific. They are not general. So the commission doesn't have all the powers of the High Court. It has specific powers of the High Court in only 3 areas, and I've already mentioned them.
Thank you very much. That's senior law lecturer with GIMPA, Ernest Kofi Abochi. We're expecting to speak to Justice Yao himself shortly here on Top Story. Not only about the issues about what powers they have and what powers they do not have, but also about how today's proceedings went for him. As far as he's concerned, what is his assessment of his first day of sitting? We are told to be sitting again on the 17th of December. Issues about timing, issues about whether they can get to the bottom of this. Already with the difficulties they've had to face today with the, the initial refusal of some of these state heads to appear before him. Some say, well, a lot of the cases that they'll be dealing with are already in court. The Alfred Woyome case, for example, is already before several courts of the land, and the state is already pursuing it. We'll attempt to speak to him. Well, I'm told that we're unable to get through to him right now, but you want to stay with us on News Now, because this subject, obviously, having started a hearing, is going to grab the headlines, with judgment deaths having been one of the key issues that have dominated the headlines this year. You want to stay with us on News Now. We'll bring that interview to you. Justice Yao will join us then. Also, we'll be telling you what has been happening as far as some predictions, as far as how this year's election will pan out between the two main parties on Newsnight. But right after the Top Story, you want to stay with us on TV, because we'll tell you the reporter's angle, coming to you live from the studios here on Multi TV. My name is Evan Smith. Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services. Your success, our passion. Belacra Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water. So that's my joy online.com. Starting right now is Reporter's Angle.